Welcome back to the Ireland Contracting 90 Sports Call. Rich Walsh along with Andrew Fillipponi for tonight's show. Pony, before we get to the calls, I have an interesting question for you. Ray Petlin, our fabulous meteorologist, we were having a conversation about the loudest stadiums in the NFL. He asked me about Lambeau. I put Lambeau in my top 4 of the loudest stadiums in the NFL. I want to hear who you think, what stadiums are the 4 loudest?
So I put the Superdome in there in New Orleans because you're in the dome. I think that bubble traps the sound in.
Yeah, we were there together,
I think
right?
when they're
yeah, you were at that game.
I think when they're a great, I think when they're a great team, they're right there at the top. I think Lambeau is really good. I think Buffalo is really rabid too when they're not a horrible, atrocious team. I think they're probably up there. I think Denver gets pretty loud. That's another one for me. Seattle for a long time, but I haven't been there.
Yeah.
So I used to hear Seattle used to get super loud, but I can't personally attest to that. So those would be the ones on my list in terms of out-of-town teams.
Well, pretty good.
Denver, New Orleans, and Buffalo.
New Orleans is right there, but I've been to every stadium except for Las Vegas and the new LA one. So I put Kansas City, Seattle.
Yeah, that's a good one too. I've been there. Yep.
Kansas City, Seattle. I think Kansas City is by far the loudest. I was on the field during that game the Steelers won there in the postseason. I've never heard anything that loud. Kansas City, Seattle, Lambeau, and Buffalo. I think this Buffalo game that first half was one of the loudest places I've ever been to. I remember those. I think are just above New Orleans. New Orleans was loud too because it was inside. Indy was pretty loud a couple times, but all right, let's go out to the phone.
Well, that's because they pipe in the sound.
Yeah,
they cheat
you're right.
Indy with
yeah.
That.
All right, let's go out to
artificial.
our number one Cochran. Go and better call the night, and it's Chuck from Seven Springs. How you doing, Chuck?
Oh, pretty good, guys. How you guys doing?
Good. Thanks for calling.
Hey, Chuck.
Hey, we're looking at this all wrong, guys. We got a Hall of Fame quarterback, or this is a bunch of coaching bad. Tomlin's pretty bad. Our defense, second week, we got 4 guys with groin injuries. We don't have these guys in shape.
All right, Chuck, I see you're making a couple points. Injuries definitely, Pony, play a big factor, and this record could look a little bit different if they weren't so injury-plagued, right? But Ben is a big problem right now, and the offense and the offensive line, maybe a combination of all 3.
I thought the offensive line, I'm with Tomlin, who usually doesn't look for little minor victories and small wins, especially in losses. He started his press conference today by giving the offensive line credit for the way they run blocked in Green Bay. And also, if you look at the percentage of plays where Ben was hit on, where he was pressured, it was much lower than any other game this year. So I did think the offensive line made strides. They ran the ball early in the game. Najee had a 10-yard run. They picked up 3rd and short, which they almost never do, when everybody in the stadium thought they'd run it, and they actually got it on 3rd down. So I don't think in this last game the offensive line is an excuse. Ben Roethlisberger's QBR this year, the only guys in the NFL that are worse are rookies. Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Davis Mills, Justin Fields. He is the worst, by the numbers, veteran quarterback in the NFL right now. And sure, you could say some of that is on the offensive line. But what you can't say is, like last year, people would want to blame James Conner and Benny Snell. If you have eyes, if you've seen Najee Harris, you know that he's a talented running back that, if put in the right situation, could be a good weapon, could be a great piece to an offense.
Yeah, that's why they're throwing him the ball, too. Let's go out to Fred in North Huntington. How you doing, Fred?
Hey, guys. Hi, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah.
Hey, one thing I agree with Andrew 100% on is I just don't think, the backups that we have are the quarterbacks of the future. I've seen enough of both of them to know, and enough knowledge to know that those guys, they're not the future. The Steelers are really, they're playing a dangerous card right now. This is Ben's last year by far. If they're going to try the Mason Rudolph project and not draft a quarterback, if you get burned, you're going to set the franchise back another 3 or 4 years. You look at our conference right now, especially our division. You got 3 young quarterbacks. The other teams, with Allen and with, the guy in Kansas City, Mahomes, the Steelers are in trouble right now if they don't get a quarterback very soon.
I'll let Pony take this one because this is your soapbox.
Well, they should have brought Jameis Winston in. That's not a second guess. That's a first guess. When Ben was coming off the elbow surgery, they should have told Jameis, look, you'll be the backup here for 1 year, and as long as you don't blow it, you'll be our quarterback the next season. And that way, when Ben ended the game on the bench against Cleveland, they could have said after the game, Ben, thanks for the memories. All right, Jameis, you're our guy now. So that was a mistake. Maybe Jameis would have still picked New Orleans, but to not really show interest in him was a huge mistake by the franchise. I said it from the very beginning. So they had no plan B. I still think Haskins has a chance. He's a total wild card. I still like them taking a flyer on him and letting him watch this year, and maybe next year he shows them something. But no, I mean, they don't have a plan right now. I'll be very disappointed, Richie, if they don't put the full court press on Aaron Rodgers. They owe it to themselves to do their due diligence on Aaron Rodgers this offseason. If he doesn't want